From MTN News, you're watching Montana This Morning.
I'm Gabby Crevitt, and coming up, we'll have the latest on the Bradley Creek fire just outside of Norris. A 23-year-old Oklahoma man is behind bars after a woman is found unconscious and partially exposed in the roadway. I'm Annie Johnson with that full story coming up.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Montana This Morning. It is now just about 6:30 in the morning, and the sun's starting to come out, and it's still a little bit cool.
Not bad.
Yeah.
And that's good news. We do have some change in store for us, possibility maybe even some showers out there. That welcome news for parts of Montana. We'll just have to wait and see, because with that, some windy conditions, possibility of some lightning as well. It's pleasant outside, as Cody mentioned. Temperatures in the upper 50s and low 60s. A little cooler in West Yellowstone right now. Satellite and radar shows those clouds rolling through, brought some moisture in the overnight hours to West Yellowstone. We'll keep the air quality alert around until 4 o'clock this afternoon, just because that system that's bringing those chance of showers is continuing to carry that smoke out of California. So we'll continue to monitor that. Rain, change, cooler temperatures, lots to talk about. I'll have all the details of that from the patio in 10 minutes.
Excellent, as always. Thank you, Chet. Multiple agencies responded to a wildfire near Norris that broke out Sunday afternoon. MTN's Gabby Crevitt has the report on the latest updates with the fire.
What started off as a 100-acre fire just off of Bradley Creek Road on Sunday afternoon has now burned over 1,700 acres in the Norris area. And as you can see behind me, this scene has drastically changed since we were here last night. But I'm told by officials that this is still an active wildfire scene.
We feel safe now. The day we feel like they've got it under control. We're thankful for all the firemen that are out here. There's a lot of them.
While officials say the cause of the Bradley Creek fire remains unknown, John Lamb, who lives at the intersection of Montana Highway 84 and U.S. Route 287, says he'll sleep a little easier knowing his home, animals, and family are safe from the fire. But that wasn't the case Sunday afternoon when he saw flames inching closer and closer to town.
You know, it was coming quick because the wind was blowing. So that's when we panicked and we started trying to get our animals and everything out of here, out of the fences, because we didn't want them being trapped and burnt.
Today, crews continue to work on putting out the flames and are working on burn operations to help secure the area. The Department of Natural Resources and Conservation reports the fire is 20% contained. There are no reported deaths or injuries due to the fire, but some loss of livestock.
Right now, the fire resources are working to make a larger area of unburned fuel, increase that black area to secure the perimeter. And as that grows, more secure, that's when our containment will increase.
With flames out of sight from home, now John Lamb's biggest concern is retrieving his animals and getting things back to normal.
Trying to catch animals, trying to get the animals back on this side of the road, back in their pens and fences, and doing a little cleanup from all the dust and the smoke and the soot that kind of landed on us.
And we will keep you updated with all the latest details about the Bradley Creek fire as they become available. Reporting in Norris, Gabby Crevitt, MTN News.
Thank you, Gabby. And there are currently no closures or evacuations in place. And there's also no reported structure damage at this time. Now, the Lone Star Fire in Yellowstone National Park has now led to the closure of the road from Old Faithful all the way to West Thumb. The only access to Old Faithful right now is from the north. Now, as you can see there on the map, has now led to the closure of the road from Old Faithful all the way to the West Thumb area, and the only access again is from the north. If you can see there, the blaze is burning about 3 miles south of Old Faithful, estimated at 300 acres. It was started by lightning this last Saturday. Today, new firefighting teams and fire managers will arrive on the scene. In the meantime, numerous backcountry campsites and trails are closed because of the fire. Now, get the most up-to-date information from the Park Service through our website. Overnight, crews made more headway on the Bear Creek fire burning near Dillon in the Beaverhaw Deer Lodge National Forest. Now, that fire is 70% contained. It stands at 10,706 acres. And there's some positive news for firefighters on the line. There's a 25% chance of a wetting rain of greater than 1/10 of an inch today. But storms bring a downside too. There's a 30% chance of lightning strikes on the fire front as well. Winds could also be a problem today with gusts of 30 to 40 miles an hour expected along some areas near Lemhi Pass where the fire is burning. An Oklahoma man is behind bars at the Gallatin County Detention Center accused of raping an unconscious woman in the middle of the road. MTN's Annie Johnson reports the man now wants to leave the county. We want to warn you, some of the details in this story are graphic.
23-year-old Wesley Brewer was arrested Saturday after two people noticed a woman lying unconscious and partially exposed in the roadway in this area. It happened on 11th Avenue near Baxter Lane around 1:30 in the morning.
Some passerbys witnessed a female and a male laying on the ground, partially clothed. They fortunately took the time to stop and get involved, called the police when things looked odd, and then we responded from there and ended up calling in a detective to complete the investigation,
which resulted in Brewer's arrest. Court documents say the unconscious victim was brought to the hospital, and when she regained consciousness, she told detectives the last thing she remembered was being at a bar in Belgrade and had no intentions on having sexual intercourse with anyone.
There is concern for safety to the victim here, given the allegations is quite alarming.
Court documents say the woman and Brewer were in a car together when she got out to be sick. Several minutes later, Brewer went to check on her, but instead of helping her, he took advantage of her. In court, Brewer asked when he would be able to go back to Oklahoma.
What do I need to do about getting permission to leave the state? Do I need to talk to my attorney?
Detectives in this investigation say the witnesses who noticed the victim did the right thing by getting involved.
Often after an incident like this, we will get calls from people saying, "Oh, you know, I saw that and it looked weird, but I didn't want to bother you." And this is exactly what we're here to do. And so I want to thank those people for taking the time to get involved.
According to court documents, officers said during the initial interview after Brewer's arrest, he told them that he knew what he did was wrong and he felt bad about the situation. Reporting in Bozeman, Annie Johnson, MTN News.
Brewer's bond was set at $15,000. His next court appearance is scheduled for September 18th. Well, the Republican National Convention will continue tonight with First Lady Melania Trump set to speak. So what were the highlights from night one and what should you be on the lookout for today? Our Joe St. George is in Washington with more.
Night one of the Republican National Convention felt at times like a July 4th special with images of our country displayed throughout the evening.
It's an honor to have you in the White House.
President Donald Trump appearing multiple times, highlighting coronavirus essential workers and Americans previously held hostage overseas he helped return home.
And we have some more that we're working on right now to get back.
Night one featuring supporters of the president from around the country.
What you saw happen to us could just as easily happen to any of you.
From the St. Louis couple who went viral for pointing guns at Black Lives Matter protesters.
Shot my daughter at point blank range.
To a father who lost his child in Parkland, Florida, to prominent black leaders.
I take it as a personal insult that people would think I've had a 37-year friendship with the racists.
Our family went from cotton to Congress in one lifetime.
Potential future Republican presidential candidates speaking too, ranging from Nikki Haley to Donald Trump Jr.
And he rallied the mighty American private sector.
We will build on the progress of our past.
The Democrats, for their part, projected the number of COVID cases on a building near the auditorium where most speeches took place. In just a few hours now, the president will find out whether his RNC beat the DNC in television ratings. And tonight, we will hear from First Lady Melania Trump, who will speak from the newly revamped Rose Garden at the White House.
One thing that the First Lady has that the President doesn't is a bit of mystery about her. She doesn't speak all that often. Meanwhile, President Trump has already spoken several times since his convention began yesterday. In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.
All right, 6:38 now this morning, and now I have a story for you. This one is something that interested me as well, especially for the dog walkers in Germany. Yeah. Taking your dog for regular walks is a good idea, but should it be the law? Coming up, find out where getting out with your best friend may become mandatory. But first, here's a look what to expect at 7 on CBS This Morning.
Good morning to you. Ahead on CBS This Morning, President Trump's former UN ambassador Nikki Haley joins us to talk about the first night of the Republican National Convention. She was on deck last night, what she wants to see in a potential second Trump administration. Also, in an interview you'll see only on CBS This Morning, FDA Commissioner Dr. Stephen Hahn tells why politics did not play a role in the decision to grant emergency authorization of a coronavirus treatment. And an exclusive look at a British biotech facility at the center of the race to develop a vaccine. The challenges it faces scaling a small batch up to 3 billion doses. We'll see you 7 o'clock on the dot.